What's going on, guys? Happy Wednesday night. I'm Rob. This is ParksCenter, and with me tonight is Patrick Hackett.
Unmuted, as usual.
Jill Diffendahl.
Hello, everyone.
Kamila Sanders.
Hi.
And Mr. Pete Carney.
Sivako, everyone, and happy Wednesday to you all.
It is a happy Wednesday, isn't it? We just got some interesting news that we thought we would lead off with talking about tonight. Apparently, we've gotten some news that Disneyland Paris has gone in and they've got this like promotional video that they're doing, and they've gone into the video and they've digitally removed Tiger Lily from their video. So they've got this video that they run about Peter Pan's flight, and they've gone in and they've digitally removed her. But the article says they're not removing her for good. They're just removing her from their propaganda video. And Patrick, how are you feeling about this?
We were actually talking before the show started, and I said it kind of jokingly, but I think it might be legitimate that we start to see the disclaimer in front of attractions. There is something to be said to keep these classic attractions the same, but we are in a brave new world, and things are going to have to change. I think it might be okay with a disclaimer. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be shocked to see this ripped out, and I also don't think it's any big loss if it is.
Yeah, I mean, if you've seen Peter Pan recently, I mean, the song in it just feels really super out of place in 2021. But the scene, I feel like if you're going to remove it. No, Jill?
Well, I mean, I think it's coming. I think, in the grand scheme of things that Disney has already kind of identified as getting changed to be more culturally inclusive, I think this absolutely falls into that category. I mean, if anything, I'm a little surprised that they chose to go and redo Jungle Book before they redid Peter Pan. In some ways, I feel like, especially for an American park, portraying Native Americans as they are portrayed in Peter Pan is almost more. I don't know. To me, it ranks higher on the list than Jungle Cruise, but at the same time, they're all in the same bucket of needing to be updated for cultural diversity and being more inclusive and accurately portraying other cultures. So I think it's coming. Like, I don't think it's coming in time for Disneyland Paris to reopen, because that's only supposed to be 6 weeks from now. But I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, and I think to Jill's point, there's such an opportunity for Disney here because they don't have a ton of representation for really any people of color in the parks. So when you think about the little bit of representation that is there, and then it's kind of these stereotypical images that, as Jill said, don't really accurately reflect the culture, there really is an opportunity to kind of go back and rethink that and rework that, so that way it just becomes a place that everyone can enjoy, and that, someone's not seeing themselves and saying, who is that? What is that? And also, you're not having another generation of kids growing up with these images, thinking that that's an accurate depiction.
Yeah. Pete?
I agree with everything you guys said. I think this is a great opportunity. I also think it's coming. Like Jill said, I think this is just a stepping stone. I don't think they have the time to go in or even imagineer what they're going to put there in place of what's there now. I think there's some work that has to be done first, but I think that's coming. I'm sure. I mean, you see Disney's already trying to make these changes as fast as they can. I think they know this is coming. I think there's something they know they need to do. And look, I mean, even the whole world is catching on. SNL this week tore Disney apart for an entire minute and a half in one sketch about their cultural representation. They made fun of Song of the South. They had a few jokes aimed at the Disney parks this week. So I think Disney knows what they have to do, but I think we're going to start seeing more of these changes very little by little due to the spending rate of the Walt Disney Company in the parks. But I think you'll see them changes.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's
Pete makes a really good... Sorry.
Good.
I was just going to say, Pete makes a really good point that in the video, they're just removing something, but in the ride, they have to replace it with something. And I think, looking at what they're doing with the Jungle Book, they're certainly putting a lot of thought into it. Like I think what they put out about the Jungle Cruise, rather, the Jungle Cruise changes are, it seemed like they put a ton of thought into it. And I know in Peter Pan, it's only, one relatively small section of the ride, but still it needs to get replaced with something. And that's not easy to do and keep it, aligned with the rest of the movie and the rest of the ride experience. So, but yeah, I think it's planning that and figuring out what that is. And then also, spending the money on it, which they're not doing right now, all need to fall into place.
Yeah, I just would want to add or end on the fact that I feel like they keep announcing these things are happening, but we haven't seen anything happen yet. So I feel like they should announce, fix, rather than saying, hey, there's a whole bunch of stuff we need to fix, but we don't know when. So like they've announced a few so far. Let's get those things updated and then pay that
that's
paper.
True.
Pay that paper.
But I think there's also something to be said for, they're getting ripped apart on Saturday Night Live, for example, only acknowledging one or two or three of several issues in the parks maybe is just because you don't have the money and the wherewithal to do it right now doesn't mean you shouldn't be acknowledging it.
Fair. So
nobody likes my disclaimer idea.
Well, we'll talk about it more in the post show, Patrick. We'll give you all the credit.
Okay, cool.
So let's move on to some better, more fun news. Is that they've announced this new event. So just like the Touch and Taste Labs, we can't go into when we go to see Figment. Now they have a taste of stuff on the East Coast and a touch of stuff on the West Coast. A touch of Disney California Adventure, a touch of Disney at California Adventure. You've got this event that we've been talking about for a while. It's this ticketed event that you're going to have to pay $75 to get in. You'll get a $25 voucher to go spend money and to buy food. You'll be able to shop. You'll be able to look at all the rides you can't ride, but you can't ride them. There's no shows. But at the same time, I'm still I'm kind of tempted to get on a plane and go out there and see this for myself, to be able to walk into one of those parks and be able to see, Mater and and get my picture taken with joy or sadness or.
And Disney knows that they are paying you to walk. They're asking you to pay to walk around. You can't do anything. Even if you want to go dine, you have to go pay on top of it. So what is it, like $75? They're gonna give you $25 back if you want to spend it in food, which you're gonna have to wait
and
hours
parking.
for. I'm assuming. Yeah. Well, I think parking was included too. I think that's included in the $75 at the Mickey.
Yes.
But who knows? I could be wrong. You guys probably know better than me. But it's just so insane how the Disney company can print money. It's just let's just open the gates. We're not going to open any attraction. We're not going to do any entertainment. And if they want to eat in the restaurant, we're still going to charge them on top just to walk around and see our things. I guess this is the closest thing to a museum. Hey, come look around at stuff, but don't touch anything. No talking. A smile here and there is permitted. You can take pictures near these characters, but you cannot talk to them. You cannot get within 6 feet of them. Don't you dare take your mask off when talking to them. So really, it's just insane. This is just God, if you could print money like this. But people are going to do it. And if I lived in California, I'd be one of those idiots going too. And I mean that with love.
Yeah.
I would go too. But it's just crazy how they can pull this off.
I just want to know, all I have to say about this is what made them think calling it a touch of anything during COVID was a good idea. That's all I want to know. What made them think that was a good idea? Well, I would be one of the idiots who would pay the $75. 100%. I would do this if I was in California.
I just want a Monte Cristo. That's it.
And
Give
that's
me a
the
Monte
thing
Cristo.
is, the sampling of some of the foods, like the Monte Cristo from Blue Bayou or the Mickey pretzel. That's stuff that the people in California haven't been able to do. I know, Pete, you get to do this all the time. You're in Orlando. You can go do this stuff whenever you want. But remember, before it all opened, you were willing to just get a touch of Disney Springs, which is the same thing.
It is
just
true.
Walking around.
Think about their Never Have I Ever games. Never have I ever paid $75 for a Monte Cristo. That's big. I did it.
A Dole Whip is there too. Come on now.
Oh,
look,
you're right.
I think
I'd go.
I think the reality is, when I first saw the pricing, it was $75, and I was like, "Ooh, that seems high." But then when you consider pricing or parking is included, there's a $25 gift card that you can use for food. I think the reality is these tickets are going to sell out almost immediately. So good luck to anyone trying to get one. I think the people in California are very excited. And look, I think it's going to be really nice. It's a safe space to go, and because it's ticketed, it shouldn't be overcrowded. Disney will keep, enforcing the rules. I'm happy for people that they have this.
Well, we could talk a little bit more about that in the post show because I think Jill is itching to talk more about that. But I will say, in conclusion,
just the crowd control aspect, that's for sure will be interesting to watch.
I will say, in conclusion, Disney here. Take it. I'm coming.
For real.
So anyway, the Grand Californian is opening up. Again, we were going to see this. Some of our staff had their bags packed and were ready to go. And
I think it was December 6th was when they were supposed to reopen.
Yeah. So,
this is like literally 6 months later.
Right.
5.
And
Sorry, 5.
I mean, it's kind of like the People Mover. We keep going, it's going to open. It's going to open. Oh, maybe not till May now. So, Kamila, we just talked to you about booking our DVC out to Grand Californian?
I want to make jokes and be like, who is seriously going to book this or do this? But I think the reality is there are a lot of people who will. So again, good luck trying to get in. But look, I think it's a good thing. I think it could be a really nice, relaxing evening. Maybe you book a stay here and you get to experience a touch of Disney. That sounds really nice. Like all of a sudden, an actual trip is coming together. You can still see the beach, and that's free. So I think this is exciting. Look, I really think we are closer than we think we are to all of Disneyland opening. I think the governor's under pressure there. I think as the vaccine continues to roll out, I would not be shocked if, maybe by May, I don't know, but I think it's a great step.
Yeah, the May date I find interesting because the Taste of Food and Wine, the Touch of Disney event starts in the middle of March. And so this is, 6 whole weeks after that even starts, and they're saying they don't know how long Touch of Disney is going to go on. And I think they're, to me, this is all, the dates aspect of this is all really interesting because I think they're basically saying, what I feel like they're saying is we're going to run Touch of Disney until we feel like we can reopen the parks. And I wonder if they're hedging their bets on when that's actually going to happen. And I think they're going to reopen Grand Californian at this point because they know either A, they might be able to open the parks by this point, and then they're going to want to book rooms, or B, people who are going to Touch of Disney are still going to be able to are still going to want to and will book at Grand Californian so that they can, better sort of enjoy and staying on property. And, I'm curious too, are they going to give Grand Californian guests maybe early access to some of the shopping and stuff during the week or anything like that? Are they going to kind of get their own extra magic hours before the crowds hit on Buena Vista Street? It's going to be very interesting to see how they play this because I think they're playing a timing game with all of it.
Patrick?
I honestly wanted to say most of what Jill said. I think that we're kind of playing the waiting game. Hopefully soon we'll see the parks open. Somebody in the chat mentioned they're happy for everybody who's getting back to work, and I think that's really important, is to get some of these people back to work. I know all the executives have been working hard, cleaning the parks, painting, doing repairs, and making sure attractions are ready to go. I know that JPEG's in there, and he is just working his tail off, making sure that these parks are going to look absolutely perfect. So it's it's good to get the actual workers in there who are doing actual work and giving FaceTime to guests and getting screamed at by guests. I mean, I guess we scream at JPEG, but
it's trickle-down effects.
Yeah, and the more we say a touch of Disney, the weirder it feels every time.
It really feels bad. It does.
So
I'm just thinking, like, is this like a John Lasseter thing? Like, what are we doing here?
Oh.
Anyway, so let's move
Give me a
over.
hug.
Move over to, like, there's a lot of pass perks on both coasts. One of them is a special opportunity to get into this event. So this is something that we know there's supposed to be, you know, legacy pass holders have the opportunity to get into this event, but we don't know how yet. I don't believe so. The other thing is that they're trying their best to give legacy pass holders some perks, and they've got the Shop Disney, which you can get 25% off of your stuff on shopdisney.com through tonight. So, you know, make sure to buy all your stuff tonight, Arlo. And then also Disneyland, if you go to Disneyland, you're getting your pass, or Downtown Disney, you're getting 30% off. But meanwhile, on the East Coast, you've got Donald Duck magnets are back, but only in Dinoland. They were supposed to be doled out at the Flower and Garden last year. Then we also have these secret menu drinks, which apparently our reviewer says they should remain secret. And then an awful cookie,
flavorless cookie,
and some old prizes. So I guess what I'm saying is it feels like the whole thing about the second-class citizen thing really applies here, because you're getting leftover magnets, bad drinks, bad cookies, and old prizes. Go.
I have a story about the cookie that I will tell in the post show, but that is all.
Well, before
this is literally them just like cleaning. Doesn't it feel like they're just cleaning out the closet and like calling it something? It's like what, like a garage sale. Like they're like, oh, what are we doing with all these snakes? It's not even IP. Like they're like, you know what? Put that in the pass holder pile. We need a few more things. Oh, what happened to Flower and Garden? Get those magnets. Put them in the pass holder pile. And it's like, we had these cookies, but we didn't have time to buy sugar. Put them in the pass holder pile. It's literally
a big
crazy.
block of sugar on top.
It's gonna make people go. We went, again, raising my hand as another idiot that'll go and like be like, all right, let me grab one of these snakes. I never got the Donald magnet, so I guess I'll go get it. All in an Eeyore voice, if you could put all that in an Eeyore voice. Like, I guess I'll go try this flavorless cookie. Because, hey, but it really is sad, like, how these value pass holders.
It's perfect that Eeyore is the mascot of the annual pass holder, because it's literally like, thanks for noticing me. Like, it honestly, that is so perfect. I love it. I was just annoyed because I left Florida on Saturday and all of this stuff came out on Monday. And honestly, I care about zero of it, except I really wanted to get that pass holder magnet. But, you know, that's, you know, poor Jill, first world problems.
It feels like it's actually on message of Dinoland, since it's supposed to be that roadside attraction that sucks you in, and it's just like crappy carnival rides and games. It feels very on message.
Well, the shame of it is that those new prizes that they have in Dinoland, I think are pretty good. I think that's the best thing they've ever put in some of those games. And at the same time, you know, I love that there's an opportunity to get this magnet. I hope that the opportunity comes to also get the Orange Bird magnet that we thought they were going to mail to us, but we got a Tinkerbell instead. You know, it's just, I know that these are not the best perks, but they are perks, and I mean, if I had the opportunity, I would want
Are
to
they perks? Are they perks, though? Like,
yes.
Come on.
Yes, I mean, it's unreasonable to think.
That
yes.
Dinoland killed me, because Dinoland is such trash as it is. This makes complete sense.
But it's supposed to be trash. It's themed as trash. It's the genius of Dinoland.
It might be the most themed thing yet. Oh, that's so funny.
Here's what they should do. Somebody in chat said they should give pass holders pieces of Primeval Whirl. What they should do is have the pass holders come in, and you can have the pass holders dismantle the ride, and you get to keep whatever you dismantle. They kill two birds with one stone. The pass holders are ecstatic, and they get rid of Primeval Whirl.
Like, they would actually make some money, because you know Tom would buy it piece by piece to try to reassemble.
You have to pay $100 to participate. They can charge a premium to do it.
Tom would be fighting Stamos for pieces of Primeval Whirl.
Yeah. NPH Tom and Stamos. Like, I need a screw and a bolt and a nut, and I'm done.
Well, you know,
was it Drake Bell? Yeah,
Stamos already got his piece. That's why there's a missing track. So let's talk a little bit about this. So if you thought you liked Woody, you didn't, because they've gone ahead in Hong Kong and they've updated him to this new look. So, he's a shiny new toy. They've got a new look for him. Honestly, I think that the face looks a lot closer to Woody from the movies, Woody the toy, than the one that we've had up till now. Same thing then came back that they were going to upgrade Buzz and Jesse. I think this Buzz is a great upgrade as well. So, I think that before Buzz looked, I mean, come on, this is like Nightmare Buzz. I mean, when you look at him, like, he was okay before, and then you see this guy, and you're like, that's the guy I want to party with right there. That's the man. That's Buzz Lightyear. It's the difference between Chris Evans and Tim Allen, probably.
Whoa.
Wow.
I love Tim Allen.
I just want to say, I had to look at the before pictures to pay that much attention to how different they were. And maybe I don't stare at the characters in costume all that much. I don't know. But also the pictures we have of the old costumes here are all in the creepiest positions ever. Like Woody's kind of looks like he's propositioning you. Buzz is like, hey, come get in the back of my Corvette. It's just, why do we have the creepiest pictures of the old costumes? I don't understand. But yeah, they're fine.
Are you trying to say we made it look worse than it actually was?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's journalism. That's journalism 101. I mean, that's
I
what
just, again, these are one of the projects I don't have a problem with. I just wish they took that time. Did we need his chin shortened an inch and a half and an eyebrow a quarter-inch higher? I would take all that money for costuming, drawing, design. I'm sure they had an army of 15 Imagineers and nothing against them, but put them on a project that we could use some love on here. Come on, give me Cherry Tree Lane in the UK. Give me something fun. I don't need come on. Cool.
I don't need Les Chin to have a good time in the parks.
I don't know, Pete, you were the one that told me that the reason that they spent so much time on the gold on the gates is because that was an easy thing to do, right? Isn't that what we're looking at here? Is this an easy thing to do?
I don't think this is an easy thing to do. The Golden Gates, I think, is way easier than having a redesign of an entire Pixar character for all your parks worldwide. And then to have the design drawn, fitted, then can this fit for multiple people of many sizes, and then have it actually manufactured, shipped, tested. I think this is picking out, I'll go with gold number 14, dual the edges, I think is a lot easier. Okay, Cole ABC Painting, there are guys, compared to a team of Imagineers for each character. I think this was a bigger deal than you think.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's a little bit more than that, though. They got to go paint it and take down the signs and all that stuff. But I get what you're saying.
To Pete's point, this has me thinking about our dear friends, the Three Caballeros. Yes. I hope that there is some love that is coming their way as well. So Hong Kong, send us your best. We need it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Hong Kong.
Patrick, thoughts?
Leave the people who designed that hideous castle home, though. We don't need that here.
Which hideous castle? Their hideous castle in Hong Kong? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. The castle on top of a castle.
You guys hate on that way too much.
Well,
I would rather have full-time, year-round Cakesel. Just Cakesel all the time. That's New Cinderella Castle versus that abomination.
I know we may be
to God and man.
We may be skipping here because we're not talking about the 50th stuff yet, but I was actually really bummed that they weren't going to bring back the Cake Castle for the 50th. I thought that would have been the funniest, best thing ever. But it was
can't they do it at a magic shop?
An upgraded, improved version of it. But nonetheless, I wanted to see a shimmery, glimmery, pastel pink and blue Cakesel for
we
the
did
50th.
go through that trend in 2020 where everything was cake. Here's a toilet paper roll.
Mm-hmm.
It's cake. Now the castle.
Also, Disney has been recycling all their other old ideas, and it basically would have been a live action version of the Cakesel. That would have been perfect.
So anyway, let's move on to Harmonious, and then we'll come back to Cake. So apparently they were testing some fireworks. We have footage of it here of somebody driving past all the fireworks happening. So they were testing fireworks, we assume, for Harmonious. They are also talking about corporate packages for this nighttime show for the 50th anniversary. Also, we can see this behemoth coming out from the woods. It almost looks like some large creature now that it has arms.
Yeah.
And then they've got
Stargate.
barges out with basically they've put on display some great construction equipment in the middle of the lagoon for everybody to see and admire and take pictures of.
Ooh, what
It
is
actually-
that, a 2019 JLG? Woo!
It actually reminds me of when Universal puts Spider-Man up on a stage and lets you take pictures of him behind you. So, maybe for the folks who are excited about construction
Protected
equipment.
tires? Woo!
So Harmonious is getting closer to happening. Jill, you were down there recently with the big barges. How much more barge can that lagoon take?
I don't know, man. It's not good. I was there one day, and like they had one of the arms of one of the barges that was like going up and going down, and they had guys on boats coming out, and it's just like it's such a distraction. Like it's such an eyesore, and it's so frustrating that it's Disney was supposed to be about maintaining sight lines and maintaining theming and immersive experience, and this is just so hideous during the day. It's so disappointing. And when they put that big Stargate out there, it's going to be insane because the barges are huge. The barges are enormous, and the Stargate is even taller. And I don't understand why they think that it's doing any kind of service to Epcot to have that huge eyesore out there all day, every day.
You don't know.
See,
It could be
you guys are
awesome.
being negative about Disney. I mean, why would you assume Disney is taking a cheap or negative way out? Maybe these barges will sink into the lake and then emerge during showtime. Or perhaps they will be maybe they're just anchored now and they'll be towed out like the electrical water pageant every night. Let's have faith. Now, let's say these things don't happen. God forbid. These stay out all day long. Yeah, we might have a real problem here. It better be one heck of a show. Or they just want to keep World Showcase a surprise, like, what's across the lake? Go check out it. It could be Australia. It could be China.
What are you talking
What's
about,
behind
Pete?
that barge?
What are you talking about, Pete? The sightlines are
They're like,
fine.
what
They're
country
fine.
is lurking behind barge number 3? This could be the new Kit Kat thing. What is Scavenger Hunt?
Wow.
I think the reality is for anyone who is visiting the parks pretty much up until October 1st, this is just going to be the name of the game. They are making it very clear in many ways, including some of the sign updates they're working on throughout all of Disney World. Like they're focused on getting the parks and surrounding area ready for the 50th. And, if you're visiting before then, I mean, come back later and see, how it looks after.
Yeah. Well, Pete, I mean, they're
And
just trying
actually,
to.
for the people who live in the Northeast, Six Flags Great Adventure used to have this like motorboat show, and it was just like a lagoon filled with black pieces and like stunt things and like where boats would and ramps. That's what this lagoon is starting to look like. It just got like random Choco Tacos, some islands, some are full of machinery, some are full of greenery. It's just a random lagoon. You're like, I can't wait for the water show. What time does it start? This is going to be amazing.
I want them to do something really like tongue-in-cheek, like have Richard Dean Anderson like kick off the first Harmonious show or something ridiculous, and he'll be like come out of the Stargate. We need something like acknowledge it. Like stop trying to stop trying to make it seem like none of us see it there. Like at least like acknowledge that it's there. Like give us a park map where you can see the tacos. Like put the tacos on the park map. Like be honest with
Name
us,
them. Give them some names. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, that's fantastic.
All right,
That's
let's
so good.
name.
That one's Nemo. There you go. Let me name another one. I don't see any more. Oh, that's Sean.
Nemo and Sean.
Nemo and Sean.
Sean.
Obviously, the hit classic Nemo and Sean.
I think there are only 2 out there right now. So, I mean, we've kind of danced around it a little bit, but they made a big announcement last week on, I guess it was Good Morning America, about the 50th anniversary. You know what? Not the exciting announcements that I wanted to hear. There were announcements about the new look of the castle, and so we've got some some pictures here about the concept art.
Iridescent. Ooh.
Going to be revealed. They've got these. All of the icons will be lit up as beacons. In
That's
the
what
night.
I'm excited about.
So I mean,
This looks cool.
yeah, it honestly, this does look really cool. And I'm anxious to see what they're going to do with it. Last time I was at Epcot, I could see some like what looked like black mold or something on the back of Spaceship Earth, and I was thinking, hey, it'd be nice if they cleaned that up or something. Here's you've got the castle, which has already been painted, but they're going to add some effects to it. So I mean, obviously they're going to do some things for these icons. But they're also going to do something for these icons. They're going to make new costumes for Mickey and Minnie that are iridescent. Is that the word? Is that the word they've made up? Iridescent. Yeah.
Is there O? Iridescent.
Iridescent.
Right.
So put an iridescent. It's iridescent.
Sure.
Not gonna lie, I might buy like 50th anniversary iridescent mouse ears. Like, I bet they'll be really pretty. I actually would love if they had like a 50th anniversary dress shop dress, like that kind of was a la Minnie. I would strongly consider that.
And you know what, Kamila, you were talking about like, anything leading up to the 50th, it's going to be a lot of construction going on. This is what they've already done. They've drained the moat again, which I feel like they just did. And now they've got the stage.
I was going to say this. That was amazing timing. We could never do that again. I want to clip that. That was tremendous.
We did it. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
Skateboarding in the moat.
There's a lot of stuff going on that they're changing up, and obviously the castle show. And the castle, that's a hard one. Like we talked about a little bit when they drained the moat, that it's hard to go around the Magic Kingdom, and obviously you don't want your first time going to the Magic Kingdom to be in pandemic, but the moat was empty for such a long not the moat, the Rivers of America was empty for such a long time that you feel bad for people who go and this is their trip, and the castle has like these ferns and bushes around it and tarps up on the stage. But you're right. I mean, it is all leading up to the 50th, which we hope once that happens will be great. But I was looking for bigger announcements. Like there are still several projects that we haven't heard about. Where are we with Space 220? Where are we with, the Journey of Water? Where are we with Play? I mean, they've added Play and Guardians to the Epcot map now. Like, what's the timeline? Are any of these things going to be done by the 50th? It doesn't sound like it. If they're really just talking about Mickey and Minnie's costume and these beacons, right?
I'm surprised they didn't do more obvious ones. So, I was not surprised. You say you were surprised we didn't hear more information. I was not. I was ready for the most mediocre thing. Like, I could have sworn they were going to be like, you're never going to guess what's happening. We're opening Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. This is a brand new ride no one knows about. Surprise, surprise.
It wasn't supposed to open like 6 months ago.
Exactly. Like, I was expecting them to be like, we have a brand new show coming to Epcot called Harmonious. I was literally just expecting like a word for word, same thing we heard at the event in the summer when they first announced all these things. Yeah, D23. So I just thought it was going to be the same thing as D23 minus all the stuff they knew they couldn't make happen because of the pandemic. So to me, I wasn't surprised they left stuff out. I also don't think this is the time that they're going to start announcing those things. I think they're going to need some love in the coming future, and that they're going to need a big marketing push once the vaccine is out there and once mask protocols start to lax. I think you're going to see a huge marketing push from Disney using some of these announcements that they have in their back pocket.
Okay. Other thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I think Pete makes a really good point. It's interesting, like all the people that I talk to, they're booking trips really starting in October of this year. I'm really not seeing a lot for anything before that. And, they don't really know about Disney's 50th, or if they do, that's not really a big factor in them actually booking their trip and wanting to go. And so, that's going to be a good chunk of the guests. And so I think Disney, knowing that, knows they can kind of take their time with some of these announcements. And, my big thing is I just hope they do have announcements and that there is something more.
Gotcha.
Agree. I hope they're just playing it safe for right now and hedging their bets on on announcing more later.
Yeah, a long time ago, there was a rumor that for the 50th, they were going to do 50 new things, and that was exciting to think that would
that went
possibly
out the
be
window
something.
real quick.
Yeah, but I mean, they could take credit for how many of those gates did they paint gold? 3. So
50
you've already...
new cupcakes throughout the property.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we've been kind of negative today, and I want to say what the real positive thing of this announcement was for me, and it's genuine and not sarcastic. The fact that this celebration is going on for 18 months, I think that's incredibly important. You look at companies like Disney, like Universal, they're the ones who have a lot of information. They're the market leaders. This 18-month means that hopefully in some semblance of time, we're going to head towards whatever the new normal is going to be. And get back to bigger crowds. And personally, I was bummed because I wanted to be there for the 50th, and it was sold out before I even was able to think about it. So I'm glad that the celebration is going to be ongoing, and hopefully, Tron opens in that 18 months. I honestly forgot about Space 220 until you said something. Like, I didn't even remember it was a thing. It feels like 100 years ago that we had that story.
That's what they want you to do. They want you to forget, man. They're after you, dude. They want you to forget it all. There was no Main Street Theater, no such thing.
If everyone forgets about Tron, we don't have to finish building it. It's fine. It's fine.
I will throw a temper tantrum.
That's going to happen. Stop it. Don't even joke. Disney.
We're only going to get
money. If they reopen the People Mover by the 50th, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Rocket Rods is coming, I heard. I think we're going to have Rocket Rods.
Okay, let's do it. So before we go, I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. We have 285 people watching, 72 thumbs up. If we could get, 200 more thumbs up real quick, that'd be great. We appreciate it. Helps people to find the show, and it actually helps feed Patrick's ego. So if we could get that done, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then also, big thank you to our WIGS members. Thank you guys for being with us. And Jill, do you want to give a little shout to the WIGS members or tell people how they can become one?
I love giving a shout out to the WIGS members. WIGS is the WDWNT Interglobe Society. It is our community of fans who get access to additional content and other special fun perks. We have our own Discord server where WIGS can talk to each other and talk to staff. Certain WIGS get access to additional content. We have post shows for ParksCenter and WDW News Tonight. I believe coming soon, we're going to start having some post shows for other shows as well that WIGS will be able to watch. Word on the street is that might be Cosmic Read or Tom versus Josh will have some post show action going on. So all kinds of fun stuff. Provided that there is a 50th event, you'll get discounts on that as a WIGS member. So all kinds of cool, fun stuff and more coming down the pike. All of that at patreon.com/WWNT.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you again for watching tonight. And if you are a WIGS member, we will see you in just a few in the post show. So thank you guys so much. Good night.
Sivako!
Dun, 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 dun.